What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about metronomes and how to take your song from a slow tempo and ramp it up to a fast tempo. Again, it's going to be a three-part section. The first section is going to be metronome basics. Second section is going to be step-by-step how to ramp up your song from slow to fast. And third section is going to be variations and different practice strategies using a metronome. All right, let's get started. All right, so first we're going to talk about metronome basics. This is a metronome. If you don't know what it is, it's just a device that keeps a super consistent time. So for example, right now I have it set to 92 BPM or beats per minute, which means it's going to beep 92 times per minute exactly. Here's what it sounds like. So you just play along with it as it beeps to make sure you're staying at that exact tempo. You can speed it up or you can slow it down. And it's great for setting goals because you can set a goal. I want to be able to play this piece, let's say at 120 beats per minute. So now I know right now I can play it, let's say at 90 beats per minute. So I have to get it up 30 beats per minute. And then you do that in a systematic process. That's what the next section is for. You can get one of these on Amazon or at your local music store. They cost 10 to 15 bucks. I got this one, I think 15 bucks off Amazon. You can also get the iPhone app. I highly suggest you do not get the app because you're going to be practicing using your metronome and you're going to get a text from your friend, or you're going to want to go on Instagram, or you're going to want to do something else on your phone, and it's going to be a huge distraction. So just pay the 10 to 15 bucks, get a standalone metronome. It's definitely worth your money, I promise you. All right, so now we're going to be talking about how to use your metronome step by step to ramp it up from slow to fast. So step one, you're going to want to set your metronome at a super slow tempo, like obnoxiously slow, so slow that you almost feel like stupid practicing it that slow. But I'm telling you, that's the most important step. So you're going to set it, let's say 60 BPM. I'll just do a part of my Beethoven. It sounds like this. We're just going to go that far in the section. So you set it to 60, turn it on, and pick one of the hands. So let's just try right hand alone for this part. So you play it like this. And the nice part is at that slow tempo, you can like zero in on every note and just hit it perfectly and just drill in that perfect muscle memory into your brain. So you do that 2 to 4 times, really focus on it, then you bump it up 3 clicks. And 3 clicks is about probably 9 to 15 BPM. You want to bump it up so you don't even like realize that it's any faster. Your brain, here's 60, here's 3 clicks up. So it's barely even faster. That way your brain doesn't freak out. You don't start thinking, oh no, this is really fast, I can't play this, because it's just like a little faster than you just played it. So now 3 steps faster, play it 2 to 4 times again. Play 2 to 4 times, bump it up 3 more clicks. Play it 2 to 4 times. And you keep bumping it up, and your brain barely even notices that it's bumped up in tempo. So you just gradually build it up until you hit a point. Eventually you're going to hit that point where you can't play it because it's just too fast. And that's called your max tempo, because it's the max tempo that you can play it in without making mistakes. And once you hit that tempo, you want to play it 2 to 4 more times at that tempo and just really focus and try and push yourself. See it if you can play with no mistakes at that tempo. And once you do it 2 to 4 times at that tempo, the most important thing, you ramp it back down, you put it on a super slow tempo again, and play it 2 to 4 times on that slow tempo. And the reason you do it slow last is your brain will remember the last thing you do more than it will remember all the other times. It's just this weird thing how your brain works. So you want to make sure the last time you play it, you're playing it perfectly accurately and hitting the exact right notes. So you want to do it at a slow tempo for the last time to make sure you do it perfectly. So once you do right hand alone, you do the same thing with your left hand, ramp it up the tempo, and then once you have both those at a good tempo, then you do hands together and do the exact same thing. Start at a slow tempo, slowly ramp up the speed. And one thing you're going to want to remember is when you do them hands separate, you're going to be able to play it faster. So if your goal is to get hands together at 120 beats per minute, you're going to want to work on your right hand and left hand alone until each of those separate can be played at maybe 150 beats per minute. That way, because when you put them together, it's always going to be harder because you have to think of 2 hands at the same time, so you're not going to be able to play it as fast. So do a hand separate, until you can play it faster than your goal tempo. And then when you do hands together, it's easier to play it at that tempo, and you can play it at a slower tempo. All right, part 3, we're going to be talking about a couple other ways to use your metronome to really drill in your practicing even more. So the first way is called the super slow-mo. It's exactly what it sounds like. You just set your metronome to a really slow tempo and play through your section, maybe 8 to 10 times. And it sounds weird. I don't know how it works, but whenever I do this, the next day, I'll wake up and all of a sudden, it just feels drilled into your fingers. It just feels like super good because the whole time you're just focusing on each individual note, and you can put so much focus into each note at a slow tempo like that. Then when you wake up the next day, it just feels really easy. All right, and the second variation is called the seesaw method. And all it is, you set your metronome to a super slow tempo, play your section 2 to 4 times, then you go to a fast tempo, like your max tempo, like as fast as you can play it 2 to 4 times. You might make some mistakes. Then you go back to the slow tempo, really drill it in, really focus, then go immediately to the fast tempo, try it again. And this is nice because it gives your brain a chance to really focus, get it right, and then, okay, now can I play that at a fast tempo? Boom, no you can't, drill it in again. And you just keep alternating until you can play the passage. So that's all I got for you guys on metronomes today. Remember, get one of these things, spend a 10 to 15 bucks. It is completely worth it, I promise you. I use this thing literally every day when I practice. And in the next section, we're going to talk about the add and measure strategy, which is a great strategy to just smooth out your entire piece. So thanks for watching, and peace out.